The Big Ten, the 2-1 Michigan Wolverines. And another surprise, no Frank Williams in the starting lineup.
You never know what's going to happen, and something's wrong. He might be sick. Who knows? We'll find out after the game.
Well, welcome everybody to Assembly Hall along with Bob Ford. I'm Tom Hamilton and glad you can join us. If Illinois is to stop its two-game slide, they need a big effort today from junior forward Brian Cook.
And he is very capable of doing that. A powerful player on the inside. He's capable to go to the three-point line, although his production outside has not been as good. His numbers are down some. But if he makes these kind of moves, power moves on the inside, he's aggressive. He's got to be smarter with his fouls. He's gotten into a lot of foul trouble, and that's something they can't have.
Well, Bob, when you think of Michigan, of course you think of Lavelle Blanchard. He's one of the best juniors in the Big Ten. But a guy that's really done yeoman's work, an unsung hero this year, is the senior Chris Young.
He's had a good year thus far, and when Coach K from Duke says you're a weapon, that means you're a player, and he has really done a nice job inside. He shoots a great percentage because he shoots shots within his own game. As long as he's doing that, that makes the outside game for Blanchard and Robinson very, very good.
Let's check today's starting lineups for the Michigan Wolverines. Robinson and Blanchard, they are a dynamic duo. Mike Gottfredson, a walk-on, starts at the point. For the Fighting Illini, the big shocker, of course, Sean Harrington is starting in place of Frank Williams. Landon Ferguson was starting in place of Sean Harrington. So a few changes here today in Champaign. Bill Self, in his second year as the head mentor of the Fighting Illini, took them to within a win of the Final Four a season ago. One of the best young coaches in the country. When you talk about terrific young coaches, the Michigan Wolverines have a rising star in Tommy Amaker, the former Duke standout coming from Seton Hall, and in his first year at Michigan has quickly turned this program around. They now believe they can be a winner. The Fighting Illini have been so deadly in this building, covering the last 3 seasons. They have now won 25 straight home games, and it's now the 8th longest winning streak in the country. Michigan State's 53-game win streak is now history, thanks to the Wisconsin Badgers' stunning win today. How important, Bob, are the early moments of this game?
Well, I think Illinois really needs to get into the ballgame. They've had some difficulty on the road, and if you look at their stats, their defense against the shot is not very good when they're away from Assembly Hall, but in this building they're holding people to under 40%. That's what they've got to do. Good solid defense, get into their offense, establish some people, stay out of foul trouble.
Tommy Amaker saying we cannot find ourselves in a chasm 5 minutes into this game. If they can hang in there the first 5 minutes, hey, Michigan now believes they can be a factor. So we're ready to go, as always, everybody on their feet, and I think all 16,000 plus have something orange on today. Steve Welmer, Lenny Meminger, Ron Zetcher, that's our officiating crew. The Illini control the tip. Corey Bradford now is basically the point guard, with Frank Williams starting this game on the bench. Down low, they go to Cook, double team, fouled, but a strong move inside.
It's exactly what they need out of Cook, even though he was double teamed. Got a great pass right where he could handle it. Good pass from the outside. The big guy handles it well. Gets 2 bumps, gets the shot up, will go to the free throw line. And as we've been talking about, Illinois gets to the line, and they've been shooting the ball well.
The look at the numbers for the junior Brian Cook, who he is one of the guys, when Bill Self talks about the Illini needing to get tougher, this is one guy they need to be a force inside and play with some of that toughness. So Illinois with the early 2-0 lead. We're just underway from Assembly Hall. Glad you could join us. A triple header today in the Big Ten. On top, this is Robinson in the corner to Jones. 16 on the shot clock. This is Young down low. This skip pass to Robinson Jr. Driving on Ferguson. The pull up, not there. Cook the rebound.
Pretty good defensive series that time for Illinois.
Bradford driving, Bradford scoring.
You got 2 guys that have to step up with Williams on the bench, and they've got the first 4 points in this ball game.
1 minute into it. Illinois out of the blocks sharply today on top 4-0. This is the walk-on point guard, Mike Gottfredson. Hounded by Bradford, almost, and is a 5-second count. And Bill Self's club looks fired up here at the outset.
Well, this is a great drive to the bucket. Little head and shoulder fake, makes the good quick move and a quick shot to get up over the top of Robinson so it didn't get blocked. And then he comes down, forces the turnover on the other end on good defensive position out front.
This is Brian Cook out front. He can shoot the three. Harrington handled the tough pass. All over him is Gottfredson. 4-0 Illini. We've played a minute and a half. Harrington wide open. Archibald touch pass to Cook.
Just super offensive play there. Harrington saw the switch on the double team, and that made all the difference in the world. Once Young's away from the basket, there's nobody back there to help out with the two big guys from Illinois.
Boy, Bob, Michigan needs to score in this possession. 6-0 already. Young facing a possible double team. Kick out to Jones. He almost traveled. Young doubled up. Open, shooting, missing is Jones. Cook another rebound. Here come the Illini, up 6-0. Archibald banging, scoring.
Illinois getting exactly what they want. Sorry to jump on you there. They're getting their big guys to the inside in great position. Michigan is not dropping back down inside like Illinois does. Illinois double and triple teams, and Michigan's playing one-on-one straight up.
Bob, it's safe to say Michigan hasn't taken the crowd out of this game yet.
No, they haven't. They've almost taken themselves out of the game if they don't get it turned around quickly.
Tommy Amaker screaming for a basket. 8-0 Illinois. 2.5 minutes in. Robinson. Long cross court to Gottfredson. He missed the three. Cook, he has been a tower on the boards already with 3 rebounds. Illini still pitching a shutout. This is Cook for 3. Little strong, good block out Blanchard. Robinson against Harrington. Spinning. Tough shot that goes in off the glass.
Well, that's just great athleticism there. Got a nice little bump. Good steal.
Look at Robinson. And now you see why Illinois coach Bill Self said today, Bernard Robinson Jr. might be the best athlete in the Big Ten.
To turn around right after taking the big bump from Cook and getting that little left-handed flip to go in, steals the ball at midcourt and gets another bucket.
Still Illinois basketball, but Robinson really came up big for the Wolverines.
Here's a look at it right here. Robinson just in good defensive position. Bradford a little out of control on it. He makes a nice move going around Archibald, who really couldn't do it. It's either foul him or let him score.
And Illinois has been plagued all year by foolish fouls early in the game. Both teams shooting pretty well here in the early going. Lob to Cook.
No backside help defensively. Queen was the guy back. He's not going to be able to help out against the big guy. And they have got to get somebody from the weak side to get back inside to keep that lob from happening.
Cook, 6 points, 3 rebounds. 10-4 Illini as we've played almost 4 minutes. Avery Queen at the point now for Michigan. This is Blanchard. Dominic Ingerson now with the ball. He's a freshman as well and a prolific scorer if he can get that first bucket to go down. This is Queen. Knuckleball, but fouled by Bradford. He'll shoot 3. That's not what Bill Self wants. There's a foul that far away.
There's a look, and you can see that he did get just a piece of the shooting arm. So that puts Queen at the free throw line. Those 3 free throws, coaches just hate that. That's not their favorite.
And this is a guy that has shot only 7 free throws all season. Avery Queen. Frank Williams about to check in. Did not get the start today. We are told it's nothing physical. We saw him at the shoot-around today. So he sits the first 4 minutes. Avery Queen now 5 of 9 from the line this season. And Frank Williams in for Sean Harrington. There you look at one of the premier players in the country. Second in the Big Ten at 18 points a game, Frank Williams. Avery Queen, 5'7" sophomore, pulls the Michigan Wolverines to within 4. So Illinois on top 10-6. Brian Cook with 6 points here in the early going.
The Suzuki XL7 has more room for your stuff than the Ford Escape or Honda CR-V. Or get the XL7 with a third row of seats and rear air conditioning, something you won't find in other SUVs in its class. So 7 people can ride in peace and luxury. Unless 6 are kids. Then it's just luxury. The XL7 from Suzuki. Now Suzuki's giving you 0% financing for 3 years on all models.
At Advance Auto Parts, we believe in doing it yourself. So we made this commercial ourselves. Yeah, we're rolling. Go ahead. 3, 2, 1. Robbie, can you come down here for a second? We are so getting a raise. It's prices, not prizes. We don't have prizes. Do we have prizes?
As the Fighting Illini off to a quick start here at Assembly Hall with Bob Ford. I'm Tom Hamilton. Glad you could join us. Illinois on top, 10-6, 4 minutes into this first half of action. And not a person in this arena doesn't have some kind of orange on their clothing. Brian Cook, what a start at Bob. We talked about him at the outset.
Yeah, he has to come up for them, and he's done a good job. And they've gotten him the ball. I mean, that's the important thing. They've spread Michigan out. Michigan has not been able to double down on him, and that's been the difference.
And the Fighting Illini turn it over. So Michigan climbing back into this ballgame. It was Bernard Robinson that gave them a spark when they were down 8-0 when he got 2 quick ones. This is Queen out front. This is Robinson. Ingerson with 17 on the shot clock. Blanchard with 12 on the clock. Down on the baseline to Young. Over Smith, airballed it. Frank Williams, a reach-in foul against Michigan.
It has been tough inside for Chris Young. He's seen 2 and 3 Illini down on him every time he catches the basketball, and their weak side balance is so good, there's nowhere to throw the basketball. He just has to put it back out front and start over.
Robinson picked up that foul. He's on the bench as Gavin Groniger checks in for the Wolverines. Michigan wants to pressure Illinois. And Tommy Amaker and his staff saying today the key for them is their perimeter people have to make it tough to get the ball down low as Illinois turns it out. So far, has that happened, Bob?
Well, they haven't done as much pressure as they'd like to. They've had some difficulty in the early going because of the way the big guys are playing inside, but you're beginning to see it. Queen is doing a pretty good job. Godfredson really got after some people, and that's going to be a key of those. Stop the offense, get them a little messed up in what they're trying to do.
Queen had it picked off by Bradford. Running the floor, Williams. Doesn't get much smoother than that. Bradford to Williams, 12-6 Illini.
Great play by the 2 guards, and knowing where each other is on the court and what the abilities are, and put the ball in a great place to catch it.
And Blanchard answered with his first bucket. He leads Michigan in scoring and rebounding for the 3rd year in a row. This is Bradford. Saved underneath and scoring underneath. Just a power move by Ferguson. Getting the start today. Bill Self looking for some toughness in the lineup, saying Blandon Ferguson might be their toughest player.
He made a great move there and a lot of traffic to get that ball back up on the board.
14-8 Illini. 14-20 left first half. Frank Williams picks Ingerson. This is Williams. Didn't fall, but he He was fouled by Anderson. He'll shoot 2. Frank Williamson didn't get the start, but he is quickly making an impact.
He is such a good defensive player. His balance and the way that he gets after defensively, a lot of good quick hands, just great balance. There's an opportunity to reach. He does, and he's off to the races down to the other end. There's experience in the Big Ten versus the freshman.
Yeah.
The freshman just learned a lesson.
Frank Williamson Jr. will be in the NBA next season, and his coach, Bill Self, would like to see Frank more dominant right now, Bob. He feels Williams has that ability to dominate any game he's in.
Yeah, I think he's absolutely right. He is that dominant both offensively and defensively. With his smarts on the court, he can control a basketball game. If they need points, he can get them. If they need defense, he can do that.
Frankie Williams gives Illinois an 8-point lead, 16-8. Williams missed the first 4 minutes of this game, but quickly has scored 4 points since being in. This is Queen, right by head he goes. Queen all the way, coast to coast, missed the layup. Archibald with a rebound. Luther Head, the freshman out of Chicago. To Cook. To Archibald, picked off by the Wolverines, who had 15 steals in their loss Wednesday at Minnesota. Still belongs to Michigan. Good hustle by Harrington.
I think you're beginning to see some of that Michigan pressure now bothering Illinois. That time they had good backside help and able to knock the ball away. Illinois has always been very good at that. They read the passing lanes about as well as anybody in the Big Ten.
Illinois up 16-8. 13:45 left first half from Champaign-Urbana. Graniger with the ball, a good three-point shooter. In the corner, rimming the three is Blanchard. Rebound, Luther Head. The freshman ahead to Frankie Williams. This is Head. Out front to Cook. Williams against Robinson. Penetrating, missed the floater. Rebound, Graniger for Michigan. Robinson, pull-up jumper, short, rebound snatched out of there by Frank Williams. Still 16-8 Illinois. 7 minutes have been played here. On the run, the miss by Archibald, rebound to the freshman Chuck Bailey.
Neither team really getting into their offense at this point.
Jones. He had it deflected by Archibald. No, he did not. Archibald just altered the shot.
He caused him to shoot the ball much higher onto the board than he wanted to. And you know, that's a matter of when you come down, you've got to get into your offense, get 3 or 4 or 5 people involved with passes. You can't have everybody go down and take the quick shot. There you see it. It goes up, hits the shot clock. That's out of bounds. And so it's almost like a turnover.
Yep. Brian Cook, a well-deserved hand as he goes to the Illinois bench. The redshirt freshman Nick Smith is in, 7-2. This is Smith with the ball.
That's just outstanding recognition of the defense and what they're doing. They saw the double team out front, quickly out to the wing. The ball goes inside and points in the paint. Illinois just doing a great job with 14 already.
This is Robinson slicing inside. He missed. Rebound, Archibald. Illini up 18-8. 12:10 to play first half. Archibald on the drive.
Great move by the big guy. Did a nice job of seeing the defense was coming out off balance. Went right around him for the big dunk, and that brought the crowd to their feet.
Illinois has won 25 straight in this building, and the fans up and roaring. The Illini by 12. Offensive foul, Chris Young. So it's all Illinois right now. Everybody getting in the act. Robert Archibald acting like a point guard, driving and slamming the Illini by a dozen.
Hey, get down here fast. They got the silver one. Okay, bye.
Claim your Volkswagen. Now's the perfect time.
You forgot the pickles.
Second Westwood for Kansas UCLA. Kirk Heinrich now will knock down a three, part of a 12-3 Jayhawk run. They trailed by as many as 15 points to UCLA. Kansas draws within 4 right now at 69-63. Tom?
Wow, thank you very much, Mike. I heard Billy Packer say the other day he thought Kansas was the best team in the country. That was before Duke lost. Right now, the Illini looking like one of the best teams in the country. The way they've played in the early going and their shooting is phenomenal, but a lot of those have been dunks and layups. And also the Illini dominating on the boards, which they've done all year.
Difference between the two teams is that Illinois can go inside, Michigan cannot.
Yep.
Chris Young has one shot in the ball game. That's not enough.
Is that simply the Illinois defense?
He's a little hesitant to take and make the quick move, and I think that's the difference. He's got to be a little more sudden with the ball.
Look at Luther Head. He just took it away, and then Leon Jones in frustration reached in. And Bill Self is getting some of that toughness today that he feels has been lacking this season.
Luther Head is incredibly quick. It was surprising to me earlier when Queen was able to go by him and take the ball to the bucket. He wasn't really loosened up yet, but he is incredibly quick and great after the ball.
Oh, my. Again, a great pass from Harrington to Archibald, and it's simply too easy right now for the Illini.
Well, you saw Jones come into the picture late. He knew he had to get back, but he was just a step late getting there.
22-8 Illinois. They lead the Big Ten in scoring at 82 points a game. Blanchard spinning, drew the foul.
Archibald on the inside. Just a good move. He sees that he's got him well pinned on the outside. There's nobody back to help. Jones tries to come in, but he is way late, and they've been able to do that time after time after time.
And Illinois just dominating inside, as those numbers indicate. Lavelle Blanchard, he's been held in check here in the first half. He has just 3 points.
You know, that was the first time that last series for Michigan where they put Blanchard out on the wing and forced Cook to guard him one-on-one. They cleared the side for him. And we may see more of that because he's so quick and clever with the basketball. They've got to get people in a scoring position, get them to line something. They're going to dig a hole.
And Bob, one of the problems for Illinois this year is Gottfriedson is back in for Michigan. Cook and Archibald getting into early foul trouble. That's not been the case today.
They have not had any problem at all, and credit the entire defense for that. They've had 2 and 3 guys down there to help them with Young on the inside. They weren't left alone.
This is Harrington against Gottfriedson. Almost dragged that pivot foot. Frankie Williams against Robinson. Look at Williams move, but he stepped out of bounds. Frank Williams with a turnover.
Williams is so smooth with the basketball. Just a little hesitation move. Boom, he's right by Robinson. He did step on the baseline, but what a great move.
It is fun to watch. Almost halfway through this first half, Illinois by a dozen. This is Young against Archibald. See if he goes after him. He does with a jump hook and drew the foul. No! Offensive on Young, his second. And that's a guy Michigan can't afford to lose.
Now the big difference here is when he catches the ball the first time he hesitates, that allows the defense to come back inside and get after him. You saw the wipe away, and that's a tough call for the official. No matter whether you wipe it away or you just block the arm.
Glad you could join us today at Assembly Hall in Champaign with Bob Ford. I'm Tom Hamilton. Illinois in command, 22-10, halfway through the first half, and Cook stays hot. He has 8.
Great ball movement there by Illinois, all the way back around on a reversal to get the big guy the nice jump shot from about 16.
You watch Brian Cook today and you say, this guy's one of the premier players in the country, but he hasn't played like that all year. This is Blanchard. Had it blocked by Cook. 15 on the shot clock. Broniger, a good shooter. Rimming it. And down with it is Cook again, ahead to Bradford. This is Cook. The lob again to Archibald.
Just smart basketball. Broniger was all the way out on Williams trying to keep the reversal from coming. Nobody on the backside to help. Good read. Right over the top. Easy bucket.
Illinois with 14 unanswered points. 26-10 Illini. Blanchard. Great move and a foul as he got the reverse to go.
One thing that Blanchard does real well is he stays after the basketball. He'll take a shot, he'll follow it, he'll get a hold of it again and get it back up. That time he gets the basket and the foul, and Michigan needs a little bit of a spurt from somebody. Here's a look at very clever with the basketball. Nice reversal, strong, picks the ball back up, didn't quit, gets the bucket, rewarded, goes to the free throw line.
And that's the second personal foul on Brian Cook. And Blanchard missed the free throw. And it belongs to the Wolverines. So Cook in foul trouble again for Bill Self, and he's not happy. Arguing with Steve Wilmer about the call. 9:04 to play first half. Illinois up 14. Michigan with the ball. This is Bailey. Blanchard against Nick Smith. The back away 3 for Lavelle Blanchard. No, he had his foot on the line, a 2-pointer.
They need the outside shooting to come alive for them because the Illini have absolutely packed the paint with big people. There's nowhere to move around at all.
26-14 Illinois. 8.5 to play first half. Bradford for 3. Archibald. And a foul on Blanchard trying to reach in.
Michigan personal foul on number 30, Lavelle Blanchard. His first.
Big guys have really done a nice job for Illinois today. Just in the bottom of your picture, you could see Blanchard look at the ball rather than at his defensive player. His offensive player, which was Archibald, gave him just that half a step lead, and that's where the foul comes in.
7th team foul puts the Illini at the line for the 1-and-1. Archibald, the native of Scotland with a solid senior year. He's a guy that's always playing with that tricky back that sometimes gives him trouble. And it's been a year of injuries for the Illini. That man is healthy, Frank Williams. Robert Archibald here today. 9 points, 4 of 5 from the floor. And he bagged both of them. 28-14 Illini, 8:25 left. Illinois goes small now. Williams in, Archibald out. This is Gottfredson against Corey Bradford. How about a walk-on starting at point for the University of Michigan? That's quite a story, and Mike Gottfredson. Blanchard to Graniger, driving on Harrington. Blanchard against Williams. Graniger open for 3. Got it!
A couple of more of those three-pointers, and that will change the defensive philosophy. Saw Harrington was out, making sure that nobody could get a drive to the bucket. Got back, would give up the 3, but they're not going to be able to give them up for very long.
Frankie Williams. Boy, Illinois inside or outside today. Williams has 7. Illinois back up 14. Blanchard threw it to somebody that didn't cut. And it'll be Illinois basketball after the timeout. Tommy Amaker and the Wolverines playing catch-up as Frank Williams off the bench gives the Illini a 14-point cushion.
The Suzuki XL7 has more room for your stuff than the Ford Escape or Honda CR-V. Or get the XL7 with a third row of seats and rear air conditioning, something you won't find in other SUVs in its class. So 7 people can ride in peace and luxury. Unless 6 are kids. Then it's just luxury. The XL7 from Suzuki. Now Suzuki's giving you 0% financing for 3 years on all models.
Cargill believes every person on this planet, big or small, is filled with potential. Every mind, whether it exists in wealth or poverty, has the ability to think great thoughts. Every idea is full of possibilities. To feed this potential, Cargill works each day at the complex job of satisfying the world's diverse appetite for food. Cargill, nourishing the potential in each of us.
Cooper Tire is proud to be the official tire of the Big Ten Conference. Cooper Tires, drive on.
The Orange Crush enjoying it today. Illinois with a great start on top of Michigan, 31-17. Welcome back with Bob Ford. I'm Tom Hamilton. The Illini impressive so far.
They've really played well. Inside, outside, good defensive balance. They need to get back in it, or they're not going to be there at the end of the year.
And they're doing it without Dramir Krupal. This is the 5th straight game he's missed. The start of a stress fracture of his foot. But they hope to get him back in another week or so. Oh, and the backdoor cut, Harrington.
Illinois again pulled the Michigan defense all the way out because of their three-point shooting ability. Nobody back in the lane to help out. Nice backdoor cut.
It is really clicking today for the Illini. Bailey with a miss, 1 and out. As Bradford scaled for the rebound, almost lost it. To Williams. Reverse with a left. Blanchard the rebound. And the Wolverines running the floor. This is Groniger driving by Harrington, but stolen away by the Illini. This is Ferguson. Open is Harrington. Nick Smith. Wow.
One of the things they said about Smith is not only is he big inside, but he's got a nice shooting touch all the way to the three-point line.
Tommy Amaker had just said, if this guy's going to hit jumpers, we need a timeout.
Well, you had plenty. It's like shooting a free throw. Had a chance to look at it, count the number of knots on the net, and then take the shot.
You don't expect the biggest player in the history of Illinois to be hitting 17-foot jumpers. And time now for our look at the Army of One, brought to you by the United States Army. And boy, what a team, Bob, this was. The Illini that went to the Final Four in 1989. They lost to Michigan. That was a flip of the coin, maybe, as to who was the best team in the country.
Oh, they were really good. Nick Anderson, Kenny Battle, Hamilton in there, Kendall Gill, Marcus Liberty, Steve Bardo. Wow, and all those guys were averaging near double figures, if not in double figures.
Nick Smith takes a seat on the Illinois bench. Illinois going with a smaller lineup now. Really, their only big man is Robert Archibald, as they're going with 4 guards. Their big men, though, have done some damage, haven't they? That's why they're shooting 74%.
It's always better to shoot from 3 feet than it is from 23 feet.
6:20 to play first half. Michigan needs a spark. Jones on the drive, got it to go.
The difference there with Michigan going to the backboard is because Cook is on the bench. He's the shot blocker.
Skip pass to Ferguson. Down low, posting now is Williams. That's what makes him so difficult. Williams with the recovery.
Just good, smart basketball. Around the ball all the time. Good nose for it. Good vision of the court. Picks that one off. An errant pass, and he gets an easy bucket. Frankie
Williams with 9 points. Remember, he didn't start or play the first 4 minutes today. Illinois on top, 37-19. 5:40 left, first half from Assembly Hall. Michigan, which won its first 2 Big Ten games, then lost this week in Minneapolis, and now today at Assembly Hall. What a week for a road trip. Blanchard open, too strong. It's just 1 and out right now for Michigan.
Teams do not shoot well in this building when they come in. I don't know why. It's a great shooting background.
This is Gottfriedson. He's got Bailey ahead. Groniger, he thought he was fouled. Instead it was blocked. What do you like about the shooting background here, Bob?
The court is much brighter than the background, so everything stands out in nice relief so that you can see the basket real well. It doesn't mix in with anything in the building, even though there's a lot of orange in here because of the difference in lighting on the floor versus the crowd. It doesn't really bother you.
And you got a good look there at Assembly Hall in the background that Bob talked about. Hasn't helped anybody with a three-point shot today. Illinois hasn't needed it. Ingerson stripped. The other way, Ferguson missed the dunk. Oh, and he had people ahead of him, but he wanted that one himself. Bailey blocked by Archibald. This is Gottfriedson in the corner to Groniger. Great save. Not for long. Luther head the other way. It belongs to Illinois.
Wow. Here's a look a moment ago. Ingerson, you know, when he goes to the bench next time, I wouldn't want to be in his shoes.
No.
So he had people ahead of him that could have gotten the easy shot. It was a nice block by Archibald, and then that got the Illini going again down on the fast break. And a little sandlot basketball going on here at the moment.
Again, Archibald down low. He's unstoppable that close. And he took a pretty good shot. And he'll go to the line.
Michigan personal foul on number 52, Rodolfo Arabi'i.
Rodolfo Arabi'i, another walk-on, picking up the foul for Michigan. And Archibald, who's had a huge first half with 10 points, 3 rebounds, a couple of assists. The senior who moved from Scotland before his senior year of high school. Boy, when they get Kripalja back, and maybe even Lucas Johnson, then Illinois has all of the pieces to the puzzle.
Getting those 2 guys back, the energy, the passion for the game, and 10 more fouls.
There you look at Lucas Johnson along with Kripalja.
Both those guys are real battlers when they're in the ball game. Coming off the bench, they add a bunch to your club.
Lucas Johnson, first day of practice was yesterday. Folks, he tore the ACL in October. That used to be an injury that ended your career. And he'll practice the next week or 2, and then they'll determine whether he can play or not, or redshirt. Luther head with a rebound.
Well, he was after Coach Self yesterday saying, I want to play tomorrow.
Archibald had it poked away. And what Bill Self was saying today about Lucas Johnson, he said, what we have to be careful of is the moment he does play a game, that's his senior year. So if he's not ready to play and gets hurt again, then his career is over. We want to find out in 2 weeks of practice if he can go, but he brings so much besides those numbers you just saw. The toughness, the spirit you talked about. It's hard to measure that, Bob. They've really missed him.
Now, they've missed both of those young men because of that spirit and energy that they bring to the court.
Another miss, rebound Groniger. And the other thing that people forget about this Illinois team, yes, they are loaded with talent, but 2 seniors from a year ago are missed, McLean and Griffin. They did all that dirty work, the tough jobs down low that made Illinois such a Final Four contender. But the Illini look like that team here today, up 19.
What was that Passat commercial? The one with the fancy all-wheel drive thingy? What was the deal? If one wheel starts slipping, power gets taken away from it and sent to the other wheels. That'd be a good thing to have.
Just a reminder, the 4Motion all-wheel drive system from Volkswagen is only available from Volkswagen.
At Advance Auto Parts, we believe in doing it yourself. So we made this commercial ourselves.
We had Florence here check out the prices of our competitors versus ours. Do you have the results? But first, Florence, Would you ever lie to millions of Americans who really want to believe that someone on TV is capable of telling the truth?
Never.
Go.
Advance is still the queen of low prices.
Queen, Florence?
As long as I'm here.
Queen's fine.
Snow is great.
People say we can't control the weather, but with snowmaking, we can sure try.
This winter didn't start off too well, but it's incredible skiing now, and we guarantee it.
There's more snow here than anywhere.
We got every trail covered, edge to edge, top to bottom.
With our powerful snowmaking system, all it took us is 6 days to get the whole mountain completely open.
I dare you to tell the difference between machine-made snow and natural snow.
Hello.
From our family to yours, come on out and enjoy winter.
Mountain skiing, minutes away.
On campus at the University of Illinois, let's take a moment to thank our Big Ten corporate partners. Cooper Tire, proud to be the official tire of the Big Ten Conference. Cooper Tires, drive on. And 7-Up in your local 7-Up bottler. Make 7-Up yours. A great day in Champaign, but not bad weather-wise. No snow. It's almost 40 degrees, and the Illini heating up inside, leading by 19. But on the entry pass, scoring is Arabi'i, the walk-on. Michigan cuts the deficit to 17.
Got to be the easiest basket Michigan's had all day, only shooting 30% in the ballgame, while Illinois shooting 71%.
The miss by Harrington, strong rebound. Leon Jones fouled from behind by Luther Head. Not a real smart foul by the freshman, who's the first recruit out of the Chicago Public League for Illinois since 1994. And Bill Self has a terrific crop coming in next year, as does Tommy Amaker at Michigan. That was the 4th team foul on the Illini. This is Jones. Graniger, short on the 3. Nick Smith with a rebound. Redshirt freshman has played solid minutes off the bench. Illinois up 38-21, nearing the 3-minute mark. Head with the entry to Smith. In and out. Smith knocked it out. It belongs to Michigan. Smith has that problem the rest of us in the world wished we had. He can't keep weight on.
He's working at it, though. Probably eats 4 or 5 times a day, but he's one of those kids, you know, he's got high metabolism, but he's a smart kid.
Yeah.
He's going to graduate in 3 years, it looks like, and that means he's going to have 2 years of eligibility left where he can go around and work on the master's and the doctorate before he gets out.
And coming up at halftime, the American Century halftime report. Mike Gleason will have the highlights on a stunner from East Lansing and all of the other scores. Illinois on top 38-21. And if you haven't seen how the Badger-Michigan State game ended, folks, then don't go away at halftime. Mike Gleason will have that replay and finish for you. Graniger, top 3. Rebound, Archibald.
Illinois did not give Michigan any options that time offensively. They were in the passing lanes. They couldn't even make a pass to get the ball away from Arabi'i, who was 25 feet from the basket.
This is Williams. Got it! Well, everything's clicking for Frank Williams and the Illini. Williams with a dozen. This is a different Illinois club than the one that played Wednesday night in West Lafayette.
They really like to play in this building, and they've come out, you know, ready to go. Shooting the ball, getting the ball inside. They needed Cook early. He was there. Archibald was there. Then Williams comes off the bench, and he's red hot.
2 minutes to go in the first half. Illinois with a 20-point lead. Michigan's run into a buzzsaw here today. Avery Queen for 3. Little guy with a miss. Archibald got banged by Blanchard. Foul goes against Blanchard. That's his second. Double bonus time for the Illini.
Michigan foul.
Queen from 3-point. He's just not very big. That's a long shot for him. He's a little guy. He's quick and he's strong. And you notice what happens because he's not really a threat to penetrate because of all the big guys inside. They just drop off of him. Say, take the 3. If you hit a couple, we'll be out to guard you, but you're going to have to knock them down first.
Michigan's 1 for 9 in 3-point shooting today. Big first half for Robert Archibald. He's matched his per game numbers with this first half. Misses the first. Double bonus, though, and he'll shoot a pair.
Substitutions in the Michigan lineup.
As Head and Gottfriedson back into their respective lineups.
Well, Gottfriedson comes in and adds 4 inches.
Yeah.
And he's only 5'11".
And a walk-up.
Yeah.
Archibald, who had 25 points last year in the loss to Arizona to go to the Final Four. And Illinois certainly a threat this year to get to that Final Four. 1:40 to go, first half. Illini, they've doubled up Michigan, 42-21. That'll be a fresh 35 kicking the basketball. And Illinois this year, Bob, they're getting everybody's best shot. I mean, they don't sneak up on anybody now.
They've got the target on the back of their jersey. Everybody's shooting for them. And, you know, that'll wear on you until you get a game like this one. And that just washes all that away and you start over.
And there are 2 losses in the Big Ten, at Purdue, at Wisconsin. 2 teams picked to be in the 2nd division. But today, Wisconsin won at Michigan State. So who knows? This Big Ten first 2 weeks, they've been wacky. The miss, Archibald, another rebound. As Archibald now with 7 rebounds. And a whistle away from the ball. Who's that against? It's against Illinois. It'll be Roger Powell, the freshman out of Joliet. Bill Self took Illinois to within a win of the Final Four last year. The season before, same story at Tulsa. But his club lost to North Carolina. Boy, now you don't see Herb Gibson into a ballgame very much at this point. He's a senior walk-on, as Tommy Amaker's just looking for something to click here.
Trying to find somebody that can make things happen for the club. And they've been shooting the 3 quite a bit and not smoothly. Been forcing it.
Michigan lost Wednesday in Minneapolis when Minnesota shot 69%. In for 3, Mike Gottfriedson from that corner.
Pretty good ball movement for Michigan to get Gottfriedson the shot in the corner, and you know he had a guy running at him.
And Illinois will use a first half timeout with 38 seconds left. Bill Self's club up 42-24. The Illini ranked 10th in the country, trying to get back to 500 in the Big Ten. The Illini, this has been a pattern now, Bob. First half, they've been dynamite, but they can't maintain it.
They've had some difficulty. They're big guys insane. We talked about the 2 on the bench, and that really hurts when you don't have those folks to put in the lineup to give you that breather after 7 or 8 minutes in a ball game. So you get down to the last 10 minutes of the second half, and you do get a little bit tired. Legs get weary. You've been banged around by big people all afternoon long. So I think when they get those people back, that's going to make a difference. Now, when you're playing like they are today, that's not really a factor because the adrenaline is going and you're so emotionally into the ball game, you don't wear out. But let 3 or 4 things go wrong, and you begin to feel those heavy legs.
Well, another doubleheader coming up next weekend. Check your local listings for these 2 ball games. Michigan State at State College and Purdue at Wisconsin. Half-minute to go here in the first half. The Illini by 18 and with a basketball. Michigan now in a zone. In the corner, Bradford got the triple. Well, he had 88 straight games with a 3-pointer. That streak finally ends. And Corey Bradford starts a new one. He has 5 today. 8 seconds to go in the half. Michigan up 21. Gottfriedson better hurry. They're not going to get a shot off, or do they? Out of beat, he did. The miss down low. What? There may have been a foul on Archibald. And there's Corey Bradford down between the circles is hurt. He took a shot to the mouth. And Robert Archibald with a last-second foul.
That's his first.
Bradford really got hit hard. You'll see it coming right here. He just unintentional.
Yep.
The arm is just up reaching for the ball, and he ran into it. But boy, he took a shot. The head really snapped back, and he does not feel good right now.
The foul was the 7th on Illinois, the 1st on Archibald, but I do believe it was a shooting foul.
Rod Carter out, or Cardinal out. to help him out. You know, he's done more media interviews this year than the coach because of all of those injuries. And we talked to him a little bit before the ball game, and he likes to be busy, but he doesn't want to be this busy.
Of course, he was doing interviews for about 4 years in the Big Ten when people would say, why is your son playing at Purdue, not Illinois? The father of Brian Cardinal, who had just a dynamite career at Purdue. And Corey Bradford really took one to the mouth, as you'll see it again. Oh.
Then inside, after the shot, they'll catch the rebound. There was plenty of time left on the clock. But boy, look at this boy right here. Owie, that really hurts.
And Herb Gibson, shooting the free throws for the Michigan Wolverines, made the first and the second. And that's the way the first half will end, on Archibald's first foul and a painful shot to the mouth of Corey Bradford, as it's 45-26 Illinois at halftime. Let's go to the American Century halftime report with Mike Gleason in the Sports Center in-game studio.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom Hamilton. Our day started about 5.5 hours ago in East Lansing. Well, Michigan State and Wisconsin. Wisconsin moved into the Breslin Center. Did they snap the 53-game winning streak? Check this out. It's tied at 62 late. Now, Freddie Owens will take it into the lane. Freddie Owens with a tough shot off the window, up by 2. 0.2 seconds to go. Kelvin Torbert, does he get it off? Does he get it off in time? The bucket goes. Now watch. 0.2. Again, clock might have been a little bit slow, but in college basketball, it's the horn, not the 0-0. But Wisconsin gets the victory, and the 53-game winning streak at home for Tom Izzo is over. 64-63. Michigan State now 0-3. From East Lansing, we moved over to West Lafayette for Minnesota and Purdue. That's game number 2, second half. Purdue in front at this point. John Allison out the inbounds. Hits the jumper. It's Purdue 45-38. 6'10" Rickard knocks down the 3. Rickard again. He'll scramble for the ball. Comes up with it. Hits the fade. And the 6'10" Rickard, boy, he's going to be a good one for those Gophers. That made it 81-66, and the final score 87-71. Minnesota goes to 3-1. Rickard and Kevin Burleson with 24, Willie Dean with 29 in a losing cause. We're back with more halftime coming up right after this.
It's staying focused on the ultimate goal. It's never wavering from a rigorous, time-tested investment strategy. It's knowing a highly disciplined approach can result in a winning performance. The American Century Value Funds. It's what we call American dedication. American Century Investments. Contact us or your investment professional.
The Suzuki XL7 has more room for your stuff than the Ford Escape or Honda CR-V. Or get the XL7 with a third row of seats and rear air conditioning, something you won't find in other SUVs in its class. So 7 people can ride in peace and luxury. Unless 6 are kids. Then it's just luxury. The XL7 from Suzuki. Now Suzuki's giving you 0% financing for 3 years on all models.
Cooper Tire is proud to be the official tire of the Big Ten Conference. Cooper Tires, drive on.
Welcome to the American Century Halftime Report. American Century, managing money for individuals and institutions for over 40 years. Kansas headed west today looking for their 14th straight win and to grab the top spot in both polls. But UCLA, despite losing to USC this week, says don't expect a walk in the park. Now let's check out the action. Billy Knight drives, hits the bank shot. UCLA by 7. They had a 15-point lead. And Drew Gooden, after the UCLA turnover, slams it home. Now Nick Collison will have a chance to tie the game. He's called with walking with the basketball. Ball goes back to UCLA. There's the big upset. Out in Pauley Pavilion, 87-77. Kansas goes down. And Oklahoma State, Iowa State. It's 19-14 Iowa State, fresh off the win over Missouri. Staying in the Big 12, it's Texas Tech, Oklahoma. Wasn't pretty. Hollis Price spots up, drills the 3. Jason Dietrich with the steal, and he'll get the finish to make it 80-53. Sooners on top, and then Selvey adds 2 more with the jam. 98-72. Bobby Knight and Texas Tech, their 10-game winning streak is over. Hollis Price had 27. Ebby Arah had 25. Missouri and Kansas State 54-41 in the second half. Missouri tried to bounce back. Michigan will have to try to bounce back in the second half in Champaign. The Fighting Illini at 1-2. It's all Illinois, 45-26.
Josh says you have a fast car. It's fast. I need to borrow it. I got this meeting to get to where I'm dead. It's a Steitler protractor made in Can I borrow your car? 62 EBJCS. Thanks. Yeah. Okay.
The 180 horsepower new Beetle Turbo S. You'd never suspect it.
Every time you use your Discover card, Discover will make a donation to America's relief efforts until we reach our goal of $5 million. Just by doing what you do every day, you can help the victims and families of September 11th. To find out more, call 1-800-DISCOVER or go to discovercard.com.
All forecasts say this winter will be wild. It's wild, wild of winter. Get a jump on the snow season. Wild, wild of winter. Dan Egan's Wild World of Winter. It's a new show for the whole family, dedicated to winter gear, games, fitness, and fun. Dan Egan's Wild World of Winter, brought to you by Taco Bell, your New England ski headquarters.
Shot scored! The beauty of a save! Oh, what a shot! Garrett scores! A diving shot! This couple for Garrett, a shot scored! Walton scores! Another brilliant stop by Byron Defoe! And there you have it!
Monday, the Bruins take on the Capitals in Washington. Coverage begins at 6:30, only on NESN.
If you need to score a few goals of your own, crash the net. Join the team and advertise on BostonBruins.com, the most interactive website in the NHL, with exciting game day information, highlights, and sponsorship opportunities. Take advantage of BostonBruins.com's broadcast exposure to over 3.5 million homes on NESN and its email list of loyal fans. If you want a website to work for you, take a shot on BostonBruins.com. For advertising information, log on today.
Welcome back to the American Century Halftime Report. The American Century managing money for individuals and institutions for over 40 years. It's time now for Citgo. We Know You. We're brought to you by Citgo, proud to sponsor today's athletes. Kendall Gill was one of many big-time guards who played at Illinois. Gill, the Illini MVP in 1990, led them to the Final Four in '89, losing to eventual champion Michigan. Two-time All-American, became the 5th overall pick in the '91 NBA draft. Let's go to Nashville for Florida and Vanderbilt. First half, Matt Bonner, his third 3 of the half. It's 46-29. Matt Fried pulls up, hits the 3 for Vandy, but it's an effort and futility. David Lee, the young freshman, little crossover dribble there. The whistle gets the shot off. 3-point play, 79-67. And your final score there, 95-85. Bonner with 28, Nelson with 20. I guess we've got to push Florida into the #1 spot since Kansas went down. Kentucky gets the game winner from Cliff Hawkins with 3.4 seconds to go. 51-50 winners over South Carolina. Alabama and Auburn, it's 14-8 early. Bama's 14-2 with an 8-game winning streak. Mississippi State and Ole Miss, that's the final. Ole Miss, big win in Oxford, 66-59. So Mississippi State loses to Arkansas and Ole Miss. 45-29, Illinois.
At Advance, we believe in doing it yourself. So we made this commercial ourselves.
Hey, Charles, what are you doing?
Just getting ready to install a new battery out there for a customer.
I see. Pretty cool outfit. Wow. Well, where'd you get those awesome goggles, battery guy?
Funny.
Battery guy walks the earth, searching for battery.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, Battery Guy. Bow before him.
Car Cargill believes there is potential in each of us. And as our lives unfold, that potential is transformed into human accomplishment. The food we eat to nourish our bodies and minds has much to do with what we make of our lives. Every day, Cargill works at the complex job of satisfying the world's diverse appetite for food. Cargill, nourishing the potential in each of us.
A squad is a unit that's together, so you're only as good as the slowest person in your squad.
It's not about me anymore. We need to get through this together. Everybody gets the same training. Doesn't matter if you're going active or reserve.
Log on. Watch me become we.
Let's go!
Only at GoArmy.com.
For me.
Hail to the orange, hail to the blue, hail alma mater, ever so true, so true.
We love no other, so let our motto be
Victory, Illinois, varsity.
The University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign.
And a smile would be nice.
Well, you're asking for a lot.
On September 11th, 2001, terrorists struck our nation. All Americans were affected. As we move beyond the shock, the sorrow, and the anger, we must resolve to embrace a new period of normalcy, a period not defined by fear, but by patience, alertness, and unity of spirit.
Time now for our look at nourishing potential, brought to you by Cargill. Lavelle Blanchard brought tons of potential across the street from Pioneer High School in Ann Arbor to Chrysler Arena at Michigan. High School Player of the Year in Michigan was named the Big Ten's Freshman of the Year. Went over 1,000 points as a sophomore. This year he's averaging 15 points and 7 rebounds. Cargill, because the better we're fed, the more we hunger to achieve. Big East Miami Hurricanes trying to get back on track. Darius Rice hits the 3. That ties it at 26. Michael Simmons hits the NBA 3 for the lead. And then Elton Tyler drives inside, gets inside the paint there for the layup. It's 36-29, Miami on top. And right now it's 46-43. Look at this. Boston College goes down 70-43. BC 14 of 59. Troy Bell 4 of 16 shooting. UNC now 1-3 in the ACC. Virginia wins their first. And Clemson Wake Forest, that's 5 straight for Wake Forest. They've beaten Clemson 12 of the last 14 meetings. Frank Williams had to come off the bench today, but Illinois now 20 minutes from their 26th straight win in Assembly Hall. Heading back there right after this.
Hi, I'm the new 7-Up guy. The old 7-Up guy did such a good job, he got promoted. Before he left, he taught me everything he knew. And the first thing he said to do, get out there and expose yourself to the public. Hey, use me! Okay, it's a little embarrassing, but anything for 7-Up. Are you happy? Whoa! I'm making a big impression already.
inside. And the finish. Reggie.
If you need to score a few goals of your own, crash the net. Join the team and advertise on BostonBruins.com, the most interactive website in the NHL, with exciting game day information, highlights, and sponsorship opportunities. Take advantage of BostonBruins.com's broadcast exposure to over 3.5 million homes on NESN and its email list of loyal fans. If you want a website to work for you, take a shot on BostonBruins.com. For advertising information, log on today. If you want to get in the game, log on to NESN.com, your online ticket to New England sports. Catch New England sports all season long on NESN and log on to NESN.com for live news and scores, to enter contests, win prizes, and more. Click on for NESN Newswire email updates. Check in on the NESN.com message board. Learn more about NESN and preview upcoming programs. NESN.com is your online ticket to New England sports. Log on and get in the game.
The 2002 ESPN Information Please Sports Almanac has arrived. The most complete stats and information. Contributions from Chris Berman, Dan Patrick, Linda Cohen, Stuart Scott, and Rich Eisen. ESPN's 2002 Sports Almanac makes a great holiday gift. In bookstores now.
Had a little more energy to his dance today as the Fighting Illini dominating the Michigan Wolverines 45-26. Welcome back, everybody. With Bob Ford, I'm Tom Hamilton. Illinois dominant in the first 20 minutes, as the Volkswagen highlights will show you why.
Now the big question is what's going to happen on the inside. Archibald, the point center, takes it to the hoop from way out front with a slam. Nice ball movement here. Archibald with the assist. A slam by Smith. And if that wasn't bad enough, here comes Williams off the bench. The three-point line. Illinois had it going everywhere.
Boy, did they ever. The Illini now will try to defend this 19-point lead. And Bill Self, like so many others, will tell you, Bob, one of the toughest things to do sometimes is play with a lead.
You know, you've got to prove it both times out of the chute. You can't just come out and beat somebody by 15 and lose the second half by 16.
Yep.
You know, you've got to prove it time after time after time, and that's what Illinois will try to do early.
Leon Jones on the drive. Bunny, and he almost airballed it. Harrington with it for the Illini. This is Archibald, who had a monster first half. It continues.
Nobody there at all to even put a hand near him as he stood about 16 feet. Again, had a chance to count the knots.
Yep.
Boom, puts it in.
Well, Illinois has done it today. Inside, outside. They're shooting 69% from the floor. That's the same percentage Minnesota shot against Michigan Wednesday. Robinson missed but drew the foul. One of the few times we've seen him get it inside, and look at those numbers. All Illinois.
You shoot 17 out of 25 in the first half. The other guy's got to think, what the devil have I run into here? Illinois has been dominant in this building, and their defense has been absolutely just takes you out of your offense. You can't do anything that you want to do. They're tough inside, they're tough outside. For some reason, people do not shoot well in this building.
A good look there at Tommy Amaker in his first year with the Wolverines. Last year at Seton Hall, where for 4 years he turned around that program. After 9 years as an assistant under Mike Krzyzewski. Robinson Jr., the co-Big Ten Player of the Week, is now being told by Lenny Meminger to make sure that he and Frank Williams don't let this go any further. Robinson 6 points today, but no rebounds. Now Michigan with a full court pressure. Williams recovers and puts it up and missed it. Long rebound. Gottfried's in the Wolverines the other way. This is Robinson against Archibald. Oh, is he quick? Young got the rebound and the foul.
Michigan being more aggressive to the basket this half. If you remember in the first half, they were willing to shoot the ball from the outside, and they didn't do it very well. both times down the floor, Robinson's taking the ball right to Archibald. Nice move here, good head and shoulder fake. Couldn't get it in, but then there was Chris Young on the other side who was fouled, and that's the first time Michigan's really been aggressive around the basket.
Michigan. Now we have a whistle before the ball's even inbounded. It's against Illinois again.
There really wasn't a question on the foul. It was a big push from Ferguson. I mean, he just gave him, he said, you're not going in there. Boom, shoved him outside, and you're going to get that one called if you're that obvious.
So it took 2 quick team fouls here in Illinois. This is Jones and Blanchard. Young with a rebound, and Illinois felt there was a foul, or at least the Orange crushed it. And just like that, a timeout called by Bill Self, who doesn't like the approach right now.
Well, his club is having a little difficulty on the defensive end as Michigan all of a sudden has gotten very, very aggressive. And that's made the big difference.
So the Illini now with a 17-point lead as Michigan has been the aggressor.
Here's the work inside by Young, and he's been very quiet, able to get that rebound and put it back up to the basket. You know, for my money, what you got to be doing right now if you're Michigan is you got to take Cook and make him play defense against Blanchard one-on-one on the side and get him into foul trouble.
That was the first bucket by Young, as you mentioned, Bob. A very quiet first half. We talked about him at the outset as a senior. What a key he's been for Michigan's surprising Big Ten start. But today, 2 points, 2 rebounds.
Final score, 11.
Well, let's take a look at our Suzuki top performer. None other than Frankie Williams, second in the Big Ten in scoring, also 4 assists a game. And he can be dynamite defensively as well. You can find out who the top performers of the season are as Suzuki presents ESPN, the magazine's college basketball awards during the Final Four week in Atlanta. Frankie Williams now on the Illinois bench.
Getting a little breather.
Did not start today, did not play the first 4 minutes. Bill Self did not give us an explanation as to why. That was kind of a last-minute decision. Big Ten Player of the Year last season as a sophomore. And this will be his final year of collegiate basketball. He's already declared he'll go to the NBA next year. 47-30, Illinois on top of Michigan. Just underway here in the second half. Michigan 2-1 in the Big Ten. The Illini 1-2. Illinois with its first 2-game losing streak ever under Bill Self.
See if Illinois tries to reestablish that inside game that was so successful early in the first half.
Cook on the lob. Well, they heard you, Bob.
Same setup. He did a nice job. Pinned his man to the outside. Now, they had 2 Wolverines trying to get back, but they were just about a count late. Here's a look outside. He's got him pinned right now. There's the over the top. Here come the Wolverines, but they can't get there quick enough. Well, this is just good basketball. Robinson gets the foul as he swiped at the ball, trying to knock it away.
That's the 3rd foul on Robinson. Cook had a terrific start to spark the Illini, but then an old bugaboo for Cook. He got 2 quick fouls and then had to go to the bench. If Cook can stay out of foul trouble, he can put up some huge numbers. Illinois up 20. Not even 2 minutes into the second half. Gottfriedson, the walk-on, drains his second triple.
He's a shooter from the corner. That's the 2nd time. Remember, the first half he had one opposite side on the other end, just like it.
The pride of South High School in Grosse Pointe. This is Archibald backing Young down. Now the double team and a reach-in foul on the... No! Illinois stepped out of bounds with it. Ferguson on that baseline.
Ferguson, 2 mistakes there. One stepping on the baseline. The other was taking his defensive man down into the post where Archibald was trying to make a move on Young.
So Michigan trying to claw its way back into it. Jones, good save on that pass. But Illinois with a steal. Harrington, nobody in front of him.
Well, that's how you make up for a mistake at the other end, is play great defense. Ferguson makes the steal and gets the assist on the lead pass.
Illinois up 52-33. 2.5 minutes into the second half. Little shake and bake by Robinson. Right back at it. Young couldn't handle that. Nobody could. He whistled that pass. Tommy Amaker telling Robinson, settle down, be strong in there.
Guy like Robinson takes the ball down to the basket. The teammate expects him to shoot the ball. He's such a great player around the basket. He goes up like he's going to shoot it, and then zoom, the ball comes with a tail of fire on it. You're not going to catch it.
Illinois trying to expand its 19-point lead. Illini ranked 10th in the country. A little out of control. Picked up and missed by Cook. This is Archibald with the left hand. Rebound Blanchard. He averages 7 a game. Blanchard has been held in check today. 8 points, 3 rebounds. This is Blanchard on the drive, the pull-up. Rebound taken out of there, Archibald. He has 8 boards to go with his 14 points. The lob to Cook. Ferguson.
Nice move by Ferguson coming right down the lane. You wonder why Blanchard didn't get the call on the charge. He's too close to the basket. He's almost under the basket. Shot's over with. Officials generally will not call that. You've got to be further out on the floor.
Blanchard real late trailing the play. He acts like he's hurt a little bit. Oh, he lost his shoe. That's what took him a while to get it back on. In the corner, Robinson the miss. Here comes Bradford in the Illini. Archibald out high, down low to Cook against Young. Little jump hook.
Wow, just playing great basketball. That time the Illini stayed away from him. They took the defense outside, forced a one-on-one play, and he was able to get the jump hook.
Boy, when Cook plays like this, Illinois is a Final Four contender.
They really aren't. Blanchard is playing with his shoe only half on. If you notice his heel on the right side, he does not have that shoe on.
He's had a partial blowout of the left tire. Godfredson with 8 on the shot clock. This is Robinson back to Godfredson, open for 3. Nailed it. His 3rd triple. And Michigan calls a timeout because Blanchard needs some help with the shoe.
Got to get that shoe back. You know, so many times you see these guys, the shoe comes off and they just slip it right back on. Well, that's why it came off in the first place, because you didn't tie it tight enough.
So Lavelle Blanchard will get the shoe back on.
This is nice passing right here. Robinson felt the double team. Young guy hit the shot a moment ago down in the corner. Let's give him another chance. Boom, he knocks another one down.
Michigan trying to get back into it with its 3-point shooting. Much better here in the second half. 4 in the game. Good look there at Tommy Amaker, who's trying to rebuild this program, starting with the basics. He preaches 5 things. Be passionate, be prepared, be honest, have fun, be Michigan. And he's proven that he can coach. As you see his wins against top 10 teams, all when he was with Seton Hall. He'll have some more with Michigan.
He absolutely will. And the club now is going back in the direction that makes them so good. They're more aggressive to the basket. They're not just standing out shooting 3-pointers, which is what they did in the first half.
Frank Williams back in. This is Nick Smith. Good ball movement by Illinois. Archibald muscling inside, missed it. Look at Nick Smith go up for it and draw the foul. He may be lean at 7'2", 230, but Nick Smith, a presence here today.
That was a good series for both clubs. The defense was pretty good coming back down to just shut off Archibald down low. He had to throw a shot up in the air that wasn't a good shot. But Smith coming from the opposite side, nobody blocked him out. And he just sliced right through and was able to get the ball and goes back to the free throw line.
Well, you talked about it, Bob, as you get a good look at Nick Smith. He's a redshirt freshman who will graduate from Illinois at the end of his sophomore year, have 2 more years of eligibility. He'll walk out of Illinois with a master's in 5 years and a pretty solid basketball career. So this kid, obviously a very bright young man. And Bill Self feels like Wait till he's a junior and a senior, Bob, when he's filled out a little bit.
Yeah, he's got some really good moves, and I think that's the key.
You can't teach 7 feet 2 inches. Bill Self and the Illini winning big.
Every time you use your Discover card, Discover will make a donation to America's relief efforts until we reach our goal of $5 million. Just by doing what you do every day, you can help the victims and families of September 11th. To find out more, call 1-800-DISCOVER or go to discovercard.com.
At Advance Auto Parts, we believe in doing it yourself. So we made this commercial ourselves. Yeah, we're rolling. Go ahead. 3, 2, 1. Robbie, can you come down here for a second? We are so getting a raise. It's prices, not prizes. We don't have prizes. Do we have prizes?
I wake up in darkness for you. Bruise, break, bleed for you. Lose weight, lose touch, lose time for you. And what do you do for me?
Tommy Amaker turned around the program at Seton Hall, and he talks about doing the same thing with the Michigan Wolverines.
I think now we're in a different challenge, you know, with the University of Michigan, as you mentioned, great tradition, great history, but we need to revive that. We need to kind of rekindle that spirit and that attitude and that life. And I'm not sure if that's easier to try to revive something or to try to create something.
Well, he'll get it done at Michigan. The Wolverines getting beat badly today, but they have been a real surprise team in the Big Ten. And the one thing you see from Michigan today that last year in this situation, it was over. They just quit playing. That's not the case anymore, Bob.
No, they're battling. They came out with a little blood in their eye, really wanting to get to the basket, and they did that, but Illinois just answered.
Young to miss, Archibald the rebound. Today, Illinois has too many weapons, and every weapon has been clicking. Deflected by Robinson. Good hustle. And you see the Wolverines scrapping yet. This is Adebisi with a skip pass picked off by Frank Williams. Ahead to Luther Head. Fouled and scored.
Well, there was a case of Broniger wanting to make sure it was a hard foul so he wouldn't get the basket, and he gave him a hard foul. But Head just able to get the ball up to the basket. This is a hard foul. Ouch, that hurts. But he still got it up there.
You don't see a lot of freshmen finish a playoff like that when they get hit that hard.
No, he's showing he's got strength. He's got great body balance to be able to get that ball up on the backboard and in the bucket.
Lucas Johnson and Damir Krupolya. That's a play those two really appreciate. Well, when you come out of the public league in Chicago, you're a hard-nosed player, and that's what Luther Head is out of Manley High School.
No, they don't call that in Chicago. That's not a foul.
Illinois on top by 24. 13:25 left. This is Broniger.
Look at the Illinois defense. There's always at least one guy in the paint, and generally two. I mean, they've really got that middle bottled up.
And a two-shot foul coming up. The foul is going to be whistled on Luther Head. His second and the fourth on the Illini.
It's what Michigan wants to do. They want to split defenders and try to get between them and then force some switching so they've got an opportunity to feed the ball down low. But there's so many people in the paint that even if you are able to split those two guys out front, there are too many people in front of you.
Broniger to shoot a pair. And ironically, Bob, is defense that Bill Self has been most disappointed in. He said, we would rather try to outscore people than try to be tougher and outwork them on the defensive end. Well, I think today he's getting some of that.
I think they're beginning to figure out what the lesson is. You know, this is the way Illinois basketball is going to be played, and it's, you know, you play it this way or we'll find somebody else that'll play it that way.
We welcome you today to Champaign-Urbana at Assembly Hall, where Illinois has won 25 straight in this building. With Bob Ford, I'm Tom Hamilton. 13 minutes to play. Illinois up 23. They got off to an 8-0 start, and they've been clicking ever since. This is Nick Smith.
When it goes well, it goes very well.
How do you stop that?
You know, like you said, 7-2. He puts the ball up in the air. It's 8-9 feet off the floor.
Nick Smith off the bench today with 7 points. Groniger on the drive was fouled. He'll shoot a pair.
One of the few times that there was an open path through the paint, and he saw it from the outside, made a nice move to get to it. Wasn't able to turn the corner to the basket, but he does get back to the free throw line. And, you know, maybe Michigan's the only way they're going to get back in the ball games, just to shoot a bunch of free throws.
Groniger today has most of his points at the line as Tommy Amaker's club is down 24. Groniger is 2 of 3 at the line today. Free throws even in this one, as the Illini's lead now is 23, 62-39. Just over 12.5 minutes to play here at Assembly Hall, where another sellout crowd of 16,400 looking on. Almost everybody decked out in orange. Brian Cook against Young. Cook, not that time. Nick Smith kept it alive, but Michigan has it. And a foul from behind goes again against the Illini. Again, it's on Luther Head. That's his third, and the 6th on the Illini.
Blanchard's still having trouble with that shoe. Had to go down and retire it. I think it needs a retread. I think it's done.
Blanchard's had a tough day. Illinois has done a terrific job on him defensively, holding him to 8 points, holding Robinson to 6 points.
When you take away Blanchard's ability to drive, it really hurts him, because now the inside-outside part of his game doesn't work, and if he's not shooting well, not much left.
No. Open is Blanchard. Smith the rebound. Ahead to Cook. Look at the big guy run the floor and handle the ball. He's 6'11", folks. Kick out to Head. This might be one of those days where Tommy Amaker says, you know what, we'll just burn this film. 66% shooting. Young on the baseline scoring.
Chris Young.
Only his second bucket today. 65-41 Illini. Still over 11 minutes to play. This is the Illinois team that some picked to win the national championship. And they're doing it without Lucas Johnson and Demir Krupalja. Frank Williams open. Blanchard with a rebound.
Michigan must feel like that's the first time Illinois has missed this half.
This is Gottfriedson on the wing. Leon Jones against Bradford. Blanchard the fadeaway. Got it. He has 10.
They need to do more of that. Put him down. Let him get the ball and make a move on Cook.
And a foul on the Wolverines. It'll be on Leon Jones, just the 4th team. So the Illini not showing any signs of collapse today. Illinois by 22.
The new BMW X5.
Come test drive the best SUV they've ever tested.
Hi, I'm the new 7-Up guy. The old 7-Up guy did such a good job, he got promoted. Before he left, he taught me everything he knew. And the first thing he said to do, get out there and expose yourself to the public. Hey, excuse me! Okay, it's a little embarrassing, but anything for 7-Up. Are you happy? Whoa! I'm making a big impression already.
You forgot the pickles.
Mike Gleason in the Big Ten Sports Center in-game studio, Oklahoma State and Iowa State. Ivan McFarland, nice little spin move, kisses it out the window, right down 36-32. Cowboys on top. Back to Champaign with Tom and Bob.
Thank you very much, Mike. With that Hilton Coliseum, a tough place to win on the road. And there's a good look at Tom Young. His son, Chris Young, his senior year at Michigan. And Dad has only missed 5 games that Chris has played in at Michigan. That's a lot of miles, and very dedicated dad.
Well, it really is, especially since, oh my goodness. Oh, what a pass. They thought that was going to be a shot. Nice job by Head.
Oh, whew. Blanchard the other way. Rebound Illini. Williams has 4 jerseys ahead, and most of them are white. But he whistled that nobody could handle. It's a turnover on Williams and the Illini. 10 minutes to go. Illinois up 24.
Looks just like a shot from the outside. The defense relaxed. Head just came out of the floor like he was shot out of a cannon.
Luther Head's only 6'3". Blanchard against Cook. Nice move. Blanchard with a dozen.
One of the few times they've been able to get the ball to Blanchard in the paint where he can move around.
And a timeout call. Frank Williams couldn't get the ball to anybody and said, rather than turn it over, I'll take a quick timeout.
Here's another look at that dunk a moment ago. This just looks like a jump shot. Only it's left of the basket to the storming Head who's coming out. Luther just boom and slams it home.
Well, now let's take a moment to thank our Big Ten corporate partners like Scudder Investments, translating opportunity. And by WorldSpanner, the official travel distribution and technology provider of the Big Ten Conference. 9.5 to go here at Assembly Hall. It looks like the Illini will make it 26 straight wins at home. They have come to play today. Bill Self has got to be very pleased with the effort, really from the get-go when they led 8-0.
Had a lot more energy and emotion in this ball game than they've had in the last couple.
Archibald, great fake, move inside, drew the foul. It's almost like they're able to score at will inside today.
They have solved every defense that has been thrown at them. You know, Michigan tries to do a zone here. Adebee leaves the floor. That means Archibald's going to take it to the basket. And he's got 2 guys. Take your pick on who you want to call a foul on.
Adebee, the walk-on, has picked up 4 personal fouls already, as the numbers for Archibald indicate another solid performance for this senior.
Well, and on his behalf to Adebee at 6'5", playing against 6'10" and 6'11" guys on the inside. I mean, he's got to feel like he's in the forest of redwoods.
He leaves the lineup, but what does it tell you about Adebee? He is a walk-on, he is a senior, and he is a co-captain. Not many walk-ons end up being captains.
That means that he's worked really hard while he's been at Michigan, and he didn't worry about his status. I don't have a scholar. He didn't worry about it. He just worked hard, and you get rewarded for that.
Nearing the 9-minute mark. Illinois in command, 69-45. Young with a save. I think he was bumped and was. Archibald gets nailed. That'll be the third on Archibald, the 1-1 now for the Wolverines.
21, Robert Archibald, his second.
There's a good look at Chris Young's father, Tom. I think Dad's facial expressions would tell you what the score is. But what a thrill it's been for Dad to follow his son here in the Big Ten.
Seen a lot of really good basketball played by the Wolverines over the last few years, and 100 ball games that Chris has played in a row, 40 starts in a row. That'll keep Dad coming back for a long time.
The thing about Chris Young, he's made himself into a good player. Bob, there are a lot of guys with more talent in the Big Ten, but Chris Young, just a worker.
Yeah, he's a hard worker. It's obvious that he works hard in the summertime.
Down low, Archibald. Archibald with 18 points today, 9 rebounds. He's been the beneficiary of some terrific assists. That's the 21st assist for Illinois.
That tells you when a ball club is playing well. Not just shooting the ball well, but playing as a team. You've got that many assists. That means that people are hitting the open guy constantly.
27 field goals for the Illini, 21 assists.
Substitution into the Michigan lineup.
And Archibald just got his third personal called on him. 1-1, rest of the way now for the Wolverines. Robinson has had a quiet day. 6 points, 1 rebound.
Bonus shot.
Last Saturday against Purdue, Robinson was a one-man wrecking crew. He had 20 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. But the Illini have done a great job on a guy Bill Self feels might be the best athlete in the Big Ten.
Well, one of the things that Coach Self said is he was concerned about the slashing of both Blanchard and Robinson. That's why they fill the lane. They can't slash. Now they're going to have to shoot the ball from the outside, and they haven't been real successful.
No. Michigan shooting 33%. Illinois 66. Out front, a holding foul on Gottfriedson. 6th foul on Michigan. First on Gottfriedson.
Number 12, Mike Gottfriedson. His first.
8:27 remaining. The Illini up 23. This is Frank Williams off to Bradford. Bradford today with just 5 points, but he hasn't been needed to score. Bradford blocked by Herb Gibson, the walk-on. Open is Blanchard for 3. Got it.
Beginning to warm up. That time he caught the ball in stride, in motion, in rhythm. Boy, put it right through the basket. He's had to create most everything he's had today.
Blanchard has 15 points. And Michigan climbs to within 20. Brian Cook out front. It may have been Brian Cook's play at the outset that sparked Illinois here today. Bradford got rid of it. Gibson with a foul. That'll put Illinois at the line for the 1-1.
Michigan foul on number 10, Herb Gibson.
But again, Michigan's not quitting.
They're staying right in the ball. I mean, they're hustling. It's just that they're so far down that it's very hard for them to get back into it.
Illinois has made a living at the charity stripe most of the year until the last 2 games. What does that mean to you, Bob, if your free throws all of a sudden drop off?
You're shooting the ball from the outside. You're not taking it inside. You're not penetrating with your guards and getting the ball to the big guys. They're the ones that get fouled, and you don't put them on the free throw line. It can be a lot of points, 6, 8, 10 points in a ball game.
Williams 13 points today. The Illini are 3rd in the Big Ten in free throw shooting at 74%. So when they get to the line, they normally cash in. The Illini today have been dominant as they have handed Michigan a lesson to this point, up 22.
Could we cure diseases faster? Would we have even more beautiful art to look at? More inventions to make life easier? Imagine how many more great minds and great achievements there would be if each person on Earth were properly fed. Every day, Cargill works at the complex job of satisfying the world's diverse appetite for food. Cargill, nourishing the potential in each of us.
Fleet Center, Bruins locker room, 2 hours, pregame. Fleet Center, Bruins locker room, 1 hour, pregame. Nesson, Bruins studio, 30 minutes pregame. For Bruins game day matchups, updates, and analysis, tune in Nesson and make Bruins Digest your pregame ritual.
Hockey rules in Boston. Hockey rules at the Fleet Center. Hockey rules in black and gold. For tickets, get to the Fleet Center box office, Ticketmaster, or call 931-2222. For season tickets, call 617-624-BEAR. Because Boston Bruins hockey rules.
With 7:37 remaining, Illinois in command by 22 points, 73-51. Every game here, a sellout of Big Ten play, over 16,400, and nobody has left their seat.
They're enjoying this Illinois game today because of the way their team is playing. A little frustrated over the last couple of games where they come back and put on a great show here for the home crowd.
Doing something attendance-wise that they've never done before in the proud tradition of Illinois basketball. That's what happens when your team is ranked #1 in the country in some polls coming into the season. Michigan trying to still run its offense here and get something out of this last 7-minute period. Gottfriedson open again. Missed it this time. Rebound Young. That'll make Dad smile. 20-point game. Yep. That's my boy. 8 points for Chris Young. Backdoor cut by Bradford.
Illinois has been able to do that all afternoon. They get the Michigan defense pulled out, and then they slash from one of the wings and get a nice backdoor play.
75-53 Illinois. In the corner to Robinson. Tough shot. Tipped in by Blanchard. And Archibald rolled his ankle. Oh my. Illinois' season of injuries may have added another.
Boy, and that's a shame because this game, you know, for as far as the score is concerned, is out of control. It looks like he's going to be all right. It might have just been a stinger.
Oh.
But I'll bet you they'll want to get him out. Let's take a look inside. What's a great tip by Blanchard. Here he comes. There he is. Just comes down. Blanchard rolls back on it. Turns that ankle to the outside. He's going to stay in the ball game.
Bill Self is now breathing normally again. Like moments ago, I think his heart was in his throat. Archibald's had such a big game today. With 18 points, 9 rebounds. This is Archibald. Cook powers it in.
They ask him to be more aggressive, more of a factor around the goal, and he has been all afternoon long. That was a tough shot inside, but he was able to get it down.
Herb Gibson, that's his second.
Good job in positioning. Gets a big pop, puts the ball in the basket, goes to the free throw line.
Well, Cook's play early really sparked this team, Bob.
No question he was a catalyst as they started the ball game and got things done, and that's what you want out of your big guy. He has got to be some kind of a power inside.
And we talked how important Cook would be to this Illini team, and as you mentioned, Bob, a real catalyst. This is Robinson on the drive. Oh, what a play! But traveling may have been the proper call.
Boy, he took a lot of steps coming across the lane, then ducked the shoulder and knocked the Illini out of the way. Ended up with a nice hook shot.
78-57 Illini, 5.5 to play. Almost travel there. The lob down low to Archibald. Young all over him. It didn't roll in. Is Archibald okay? Yep. Third foul on Chris Young.
Michigan personal foul on number 45, Chris Young.
Here's a look. Let's see what happened here. He come across the lane. 1, 2, 3. That's a lot of steps. That's a bunch of steps.
2 shots.
Let him play. 5:17 to go. Robert Archibald, 18 points, 9 rebounds today. If you didn't hear, folks, this is now the longest winning streak at home by a Big Ten team. Illinois trying to make it 26 in a row as Michigan State's 53-game winning streak at the Breslin Center is history. Wisconsin with a stunning win today in East Lansing. Michigan State made a bucket, they thought, to beat the buzzer. The officiating crew took a look at the replay and made the correct call and overruled it. And give that officiating crew some credit. That's a tough call to make at the Breslin Center.
Oh, no question. Those people are avid basketball fans.
Robinson on the penetration, drew the foul, so he'll go to the line. 5:11 to play. Illinois up 22. Also a big win today for Minnesota on the road at West Lafayette, where Purdue on Wednesday beat this Illinois team.
Minnesota, big turnaround in the second half, down by as many as 9, maybe 10, and they end up winning it by a bunch. Big turnaround there in the second half.
Coach Munson has turned around that Gopher program in probably as tough a circumstance as any place in the country with all that's gone on off the court. Standing ovation, and rightly so, for Robert Archibald. 19 points, 9 rebounds. And I think Bill Self saw him tumble enough to say, I'm getting him out of there before he gets hurt.
That ankle has to be just a little tender. Regardless of what he says, you know if you turned it and went down, it's tender.
Reiniger with a miss. Williams the rebound.
Getting a little more physical than you would like on the court right now. Guys really grabbing at each other and banging.
This is Cook popping out and nailing it. Cook is 7 for 10 from the floor today.
You notice he catches the ball and turns to shoot. Today, he's not thinking about it. He's doing it within the rhythm of the game, and he's been very accurate from the outside as well as great inside play.
He has 18 as Michigan turns it over. Wolverines down 23. But this is part of the rebuilding program for Tommy Amaker.
Here's Cook a moment ago. Just catches the pass, turns, looks, finds the basket, and nails it. It's good intuitive play. That's the way you got to play the game. If you got to think about it, it's too late.
Yep. Frankie Williams, he has 14. The lob to head.
Oh, boy, you saw that one coming. Somewhere in that whole mix, those two guys made eye contact, and you knew what was going to happen.
Wow. They have put on a show today, have the Fighting Illini. Averaging 82 points a game. They've surpassed that. Locked down low, Illinois basketball. And Illinois isn't going through the motions with a big lead. They're playing hard as well.
I think they want to win this game by as many as they can, just to tell everybody in the league, hey, we're back.
Yep. Michigan, good help defense that time. Robinson the other way. The pull-up runner. Rebound, Luther Head. 3.5 minutes to go. A little ragged now. Illinois up 25. Nick Smith on the back door to Head. Touch pass, Cook.
They have just been outstanding with their passing and the way they've read the defenses all afternoon long.
Yep.
You give them a crease, bang, they've got a basket.
Bob, that's 32 field goals for Illinois and 26 assists. Pretty impressive. 85-58 Illini. This is Young, double team, still muscled it in.
Chris Young.
And Young has 10. 25-point Illinois lead. Frank Williams against Gottfriedson. Frank Williams recovers it. This is Head. Wow. Luther Head, the freshman out of Chicago, has put on a pretty good show himself with the alley-oop dunks and now a triple. And the Orange Crush loving it. Michigan seeing the very best that Illinois has to offer.
Williams, he and Head, you can see that they have eye contact there. You know what's going to happen. There's just no way you're going to be able to stop it. Michigan has had a tough afternoon defensively trying to solve this offense that Illinois has put on the floor.
And this young man is getting some quality minutes today, not just when this game was decided.
Well, he's played well. They put him on the court. He played well, didn't make any mistakes. And that's what the coaches will do. You get a freshman out there that's struggling a little bit, get him off the floor. Don't break his concentration. Don't break his will and his confidence. And then put him back in, see if he recovers.
Gottfriedson tumbling, looking for help. Leon Jones in the corner. Graniger open for three. Nailed the triple from the corner. 88-63 Illinois as we near the 2-minute mark.
It was play number 7. You know, it's a matter of staying after the ball, which, you know, as you said, Michigan has not quit in this ball game.
Nope. Roger Powell, well, he hit the back of the bracket and the ball deadened and fell in.
Well, you could hear it. It thunk and right back into the basket.
69% from the floor the Illini are shooting. That was a bad miss by Jones. Open Graniger for 3. Jones the rebound. Jones had it blocked by Smith. This is Adebisi. Scores and a foul.
Count the basket for Michigan's Runaloo Adebisi.
Well, let's take a look at our best play of the game. It's brought to you by Advanced Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
Well, that's just an outstanding play. Athleticism, court smarts, good passing. It was all there.
The Advanced Auto Parts play of the game. Young kept it alive. Jones down with it. Illinois up 91-65. Graniger lets it fly, misses again. Jones the rebound. Jones puts it up, rolls in.
The way Michigan is playing right now, you'd think this is a 2-point ball game.
Yep. Well, that's a credit to Tommy Amaker and his staff. It's a good staff. Chuck Swenson, Charles Ramsey, and Billy Schmidt.
1 minute.
Stolen by Graniger. Trying to call a timeout. Taken away inside. That was Roger Powell that got hacked. Under a minute to go. Well, let's take a look at our American Century on the money player of the game, Robert Archibald. Boy, he was strong today.
Inside, outside, even got to be point guard there on that one take from the top of the key where he went down and dunked with the left hand. Played a great ball game.
Illinois came to play today. When you see them play like this, Bob, you wonder how they've lost.
You really do, and they're very comfortable here. And when you have some young players that have to be a key role, that happens.
Yeah.
Now they've got to be able to take what they did here today on the road with them.
Yeah.
They've got to win a couple of ball games they're not supposed to in some tough situations. That's how they've got to get back into it. It can't just be done here. It's got to be done on the road.
The Illini impressive here today, winning big.
It's staying focused on the ultimate goal. It's never wavering from a rigorous, time-tested investment strategy. It's knowing a highly disciplined approach can result in a winning performance. The American Century Value Funds. It's what we call American dedication. American Century Investments. Contact us or your investment professional.
The new BMW X5. Come test drive the best SUV they've ever tested.
A squad is a unit that's together, so you're only as good as the slowest person in your squad.
It's not about me anymore. We need to get through this together. Everybody gets the same training. Doesn't matter if you're going active or reserve.
Log on. Watch me become we.
Let's go!
Only at GoArmy.com.
Now let's take a look at the BMW Ultimate Drive of the game.
It's a pivot man's dream to see that opening. That's a great pick there by Smith.
Yeah.
Set him up real well. Come down with a slam dunk with the left hand.
Robert Archibald. He was our player of the game. He had the drive of the game. And Illinois up big, 92-67, as we play out this final minute at Assembly Hall, where Illinois will win its 26th consecutive game in this building. Groniger got the triple. He has a dozen today. Michigan has scored 70 points. Although some of it has come here when the matter had been settled. Jarrett Howard with the basketball. That's a tough job. You're the backup point guard to Frank Williams. Nick Smith with a finger roll. And look at Powell scrap inside. Another freshman for the Illini. 20 seconds remaining. Illinois up 92-70. They call that a jump ball. I beg your pardon. Alternate possession hands the ball to Illinois. Both these teams now will be 2-2 in the Big Ten. Jarrett Howard, he got fouled out front. 15 seconds remaining.
Michigan foul on number 0, Leon Jones. That's
Leon Jones with the personal. A somber Tommy Amaker. He was the first real key recruit in the Mike Krzyzewski reign at Duke. And Mike Krzyzewski says, not only is he like a son to me, but my daughters consider Tommy Amaker like one of their brothers. That's how much he is a part of that family. Hard to believe that Mike Krzyzewski ever struggled at Duke. When you look at him now. 94-70, Illinois with an impressive rout here today of an improving Michigan Wolverines team. Out of the Illini have recovered after 2 setbacks on the road, and we'll be coming back here to Assembly Hall after we take time out as Illinois